7%. That's with 24% of the precincts reporting, but Fox is also calling this race already. They say Baldwin's got it.
Yeah, so both Wisconsin races, the presidential race and the Senate race, the Republican is ahead in the popular vote right now, but Fox News calling it for the Democratic candidate in both those. They obviously are basing it on some exit polls and other things like that. Yeah.
Well, let's get an inside look now at what it's like to be a politician on election night.
Our Ted Perry here with a couple of people who know darn well what it's like.
They know what it's like. They've known what it's like since 1998. To my right, to screen left, is John Richards, who represents Milwaukee's east side down to Bayview. Jeff Stone is a Republican from Greendale, representing that area there. I want to talk trends. I want to talk surprises, and I want to start with you, because you're saying don't buy the numbers just yet. Republicans are not conceding this state to Barack Obama just yet, you say.
I mean, I think when you talk the Romney campaign, we're looking at only 12% of the vote statewide, and we aren't getting big numbers out of the Fox Valley or out of the southeastern Wisconsin part of the state yet. We think that it's going to be a longer night, and we think that we're in a really good position to at this point in time.
I would imagine you're okay, John, with the prediction so far, giving both the state from Fox News to the president and to Tammy Baldwin.
Sure, it tracks with what the polls have been saying over the last couple of months. Just like during the recall election, when the polls were saying for several months that Governor Walker was ahead, he ended up winning. Now we see Tammy Baldwin ahead and President Obama ahead. And just anecdotally, I was out in rural areas over the last week in Toma and Sparta, Wausau, and Rothschild, Wisconsin, and today I was here in Milwaukee. And in all those places, big towns or small towns, there was a lot of support for the president, a lot of support for Tammy Baldwin, and I think you're going to see Tammy Baldwin's numbers track with President Obama's numbers tonight, and they're both going to be very strong. In
a state where people split tickets and have historically, that might not be the case tonight.
You know what was interesting? Sometimes in years past, you'd go around to, especially in small towns, you'd see a Democrat yard sign and a Republican yard sign. You didn't see that this year. You saw it was really lined up one way or the other, and there wasn't a whole lot of ticket splitting, and I think you'll see that play out tonight.
You've been over the state. You worked for Republican candidates in this. In fact, so much so that you weren't in your district as much as you said you'd like to be during the campaign.
Right.
What were you seeing? We talk about this enthusiasm gap that Republicans will come out bigger on Election Day than they are polled. Obviously, you're still hoping for that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think that we're going to see a big, heavy turnout, particularly in the southeastern part of the state. And just as an example, I was in Franklin yesterday, and I know some of the wards in Franklin, which is a strong Republican area on the suburbs here, turnout in the early voting was at the 48% level in some wards. I think we're going to have wards at 95% turnout, and I think that could have a real impact as the numbers come in throughout the evening.
And in the city of Milwaukee, we had high turnout too. We were higher turnout than 2008, higher early vote than 2008, and higher vote totals in the individual wards than 2008.
10 seconds each. What are you watching for the next hour, Jeff?
I'm going to watch and see if we get bigger numbers from the Fox Valley and see if we begin to see some trends. What I'm seeing around the state, though, is that it seems like other things are going the way we anticipated. So I think it's going to be a much closer race.
I'm waiting to see what happens with the city of Milwaukee numbers when they come in, and also to see what happens in the union-heavy parts of the state as they come in, because the union households are voting Democratic tonight.
And we'll talk about the state Senate when we come back, because there are key races there that these guys are keeping an eye on. We'll send it back to the main desk with Brad and Ann. Guys?
All right. Unfortunately, the two representatives showed up too late for pizza. We had pizza in the newsroom.
I know.